Nova Online, professional food reviewer, TikToker, Twitch streamer, pretend WWE superstar, and career PDF file, has had unending betrayals and exposals this year. He can't quite understand that he'll never be able to have a Discord server without at least one person monitoring him for inappropriate behavior with people too young due to his track record. And well, with as eventful as this year has been thus far, it's gotten even more interesting for the friendly neighborhood chome, because it's been just confirmed Nova is in a loving relationship with his new boyfriend Christian Berger. So today we'll dabble into the lore of that true love, a little into one of Gabriel's little buddies, and his caregiver who just recently turned their back on role-playing with the chome. Let's get into it. So starting off, for anyone unfamiliar with Christian Berger and the character that he is, I would recommend my other video I've made on him. But to get a little context here as to why them interacting is a little significant, we'll cover who exactly Christian Berger is as a person first. So walking on over to his TikTok account, he's 27 years old, he's from Linden, Washington. He makes his Snap accessible because he likes making new friends. And if it isn't clear enough from the mullet in some of these clips, he likes to pretend to be a little country boy. But scrolling through his page, you'll find him dancing to any number of songs, constantly reposting any TikToks of his that happen to blow up. And one thing that's probably the second most interesting or notable thing about Christian is his comment section and the relentless insults he constantly gets bombarded with on there. I've seriously seen some incredibly creative comments on there, but he doesn't bother muting them or blocking any of these people. All he cares about is engagement and likes, so it's whatever to him. And if this is as deep as the lore went with Nova's new boyfriend Berger, you might want to feel a little bad for him. Clearly, he's on the smaller side, he talks a little slow, something's going on. Quoting him, he was neglected as a child, and that caused some issues with some development, so he is a little behind people who are his age, but he can definitely tell right from wrong, I'll tell you that. And the state has deemed him responsible enough to drive, which was evident with his constant border crossing videos going on up to Canada until he had to put a stop to that, and we'll get into that too. But he's had multiple run-ins with the law, one in particular being the fact that he was caught buying alcohol for someone under the age of 18, which isn't the worst offense possible, but when you get into the details of that and the fact that he was well known in the area for buying alcohol for girls who were pretty young in order to try to entice them to come and hang out with him, you start getting into the leaping lemur territory there with him in his motel. Like, that was the kind of business that Christian Berger was trying to get down to. Multiple accounts of people in the Whatcom County area on a predator awareness page on Facebook claiming that their daughters, who are anywhere between 13 to 17 years old, have been approached by Berger, and he started either hitting on them or interacting with them a little inappropriately or asking for their Snapchat. There's an infamous photo or video of him going to town on something blue on a wall that was allegedly sent to a minor in order to impress her, maybe? And then this infamous video where he was confronted about talking to people under the age of 18. But I think the knowledge of this awful behavior that Berger's displayed time and time again, and that he's admitted to even on TikTok Live at one point, is really important when we start to look into these interactions between another predator, Nova Online, and how both of them have been gaining attention and no doubt followers from this interaction as a whole. But getting into this quote-unquote relationship as a whole, the first interaction where any sort of potential love, let's say, was sprouting between the two would be this post made by Christian Berger, where he believed Nova was sending all of his little minions to come and harass him and say that they're having relationship issues or that they're in a relationship.
This message is for Nova and Nova only. And if you're not Nova, just keep on scrolling. Listen, Nova, you gotta stop sending your little minions to my comment section saying that we are a couple. We aren't. I am not into men. I am into women. So get that through your head right now. And stop sending your minions to bombard my comment section.
The only little minion I see anywhere is Christian Berger himself. But man, he was just not having it. All the people who know about Nova Online coming into his comment section, talking about how they're in love, exposing their relationship for what it truly was, true love. He just wasn't having it. I mean, clearly he just wasn't ready to come to the public and talk to everyone about how he's committed 100% to Gabe. And Nova, he hopped right on board. Neither of them were ready to share with the world what the two of them were up to. He said, "Brother, I did not send my fans up here. Quit defaming me." To which I 100% agree with, or almost fully agree with here, because Nova has no real fans, so he couldn't have sent anyone up here that, at least, that was a fan of his. But I also feel it would be near impossible to defame him just because of the sheer amount of true things that are on the internet that are so negative about him and the things that he's done. This next clip, though, they start flirting a little bit on main, which is a little crazy.
No, I'm pretty sure you did send your little minions after me, so you should probably stop doing that. I'm just saying.
Now, that was it for a little while when it came to these two flirting, and they're denying the fact that they're both clearly head over heels for one another, when everything would come to a point with Christian finally coming forward and shouting from the rooftops about him and Nova being an item.
Nova, this is Christian. I'm making this video to tell you that I love you. I'm a dirty mid-counted and I love when you glaze me. Also, my haircut sucks. Please forgive me for getting a DUI even though I didn't reach the pedals.
So, a little inappropriate there. I had to censor a little bit of that. And as funny as the prospect of him being dead serious despite being fairly homophobic prior to this, I think what's really going on here is creator Infrabren has been sending him things to say online to kind of boost Burger's engagement a little bit, I guess. I'm sure at one point many of you have seen Infrabren's stuff. He walks up to people and makes those very uncomfortable jokes, and I believe he also has a podcast. But amidst all this incredible passion Christian's displaying here, Nova can't help but be frustrated that he does in fact love Burger back, lip syncing to the song "I Hate Everything About You" by 3 Days Grace. Now, as funny as that interaction between these two known predators might have been, it's really important to remember that these two people are very dangerous when it comes to their interactions with people under the age of 18. I don't really think either of them should have a platform at all, but it kind of makes sense that they'd gravitate towards one another considering they're so incredibly like-minded. Moving forward though, we have an actual little bestie that Nova's had recently. Now, if any of you remember me breaking into that little Minecraft server that they had, and of course giving all my grubbas the code to come and join me and play a little Minecraft on the Chome's realm. This person, XXXDezelXX, or Dez in that recent Clash of Clans Discord server leak, was the person who made that Minecraft server along with the Discord server that just got leaked the other week. Now, regarding this person, I just want to cover their sort of defense for themselves when they got added by Bloodspeth on Discord and questioned about their behavior recently. Why are they associating with a known PDF file? And not only that, but protecting him as well. It makes absolutely no sense. No rational human being would want to do that. So I just needed to read through with all of you what exactly was said in this convo. You added me? LMAO, what's good? Trying to come up on stream? Nah, I saw I was on stream in game earlier, after the fact, not my cup of tea, referring to the fact that he was up on my live stream when he was playing Minecraft in the Nova Minecraft server. I mean, it'd clear your name if you're a troll, which I'm assuming you are. Clear my name? Of the crime of playing Minecraft on a Sunday afternoon? I'm good. Of making a Discord server for a PDF file, or was it two? I didn't make a Discord server for anyone but myself, but if you're trying to accuse me of anything, I'm not going to entertain you anymore. It was for a clan I was in. I got sick of the horizontal keyboard, short character limit, and the censorship. Uh-huh. And did you know that the owner of the clan is a PDF file? I'm hearing a lot of that lately with a bunch of people who joined a game I made that he never joined, and blew up all my stuff, and then insulted me, so I'm not sure how much I appreciate their input on anything. I see. I'm hearing a lot of that lately, and then the snobby little I don't care for their input or whatever. This goofball feels genuinely wronged and offended that he had some nasty names thrown his way for associating with someone who preys on the youth. Yeah, maybe it was a mistake at first and he just so happened to join Gabe's clan looking for other people to play Clash with, but going through the trouble of making a Discord and then Minecraft server for the guy, having days of interactions in Discord rather than Clash, and hearing the rantings and ravings about the trolls, he had to have gotten curious and Googled the guy's name once. What normal, sane individual with even an ounce of elementary school level critical thinking skills would continue to associate with someone that literally has hundreds of videos on YouTube with various phrasings of PDF file plastered onto their forehead in thumbnails. Then going as far as coddling the guy and continuing to maintain this friendship, I just thought it was important to highlight the oddity that is this Dezel character before we move on to someone who, let's say, got a little more involved with making Nova feel comfortable. So this person, Nova's CG, that recently betrayed the big fella, or caregiver rather, would leak a good portion of their conversation that was held with the chum. And of course, we get this weird age regression stuff going on. Of course, Gabe role plays as a baby and whatnot. We all already know that. So I'm going to go over some of the highlights of this conversation and just a couple interesting quotes that have come out of all this. So starting off, which makes Nova look really good, is him being so incredibly anxious about a social worker coming by their house. So just as a reminder, Nova's mom, who's an amputee now, who has a very hard time getting around, is living in the 90% trash, 10% double wide. That is their house. And obviously, given the filth and horrible living conditions that he forces his mother to live in every day, he's incredibly worried about what other people might think. And it isn't blatantly said here or anything, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they float around the idea of elderly abuse with the way that that house looks. We already know the aunt has to stop by once a week to scream at him to pick up his dishes that he leaves everywhere or pick up the trash that's all over the house that he sometimes begrudgingly picks up. But this caregiver responds saying, "Thing is, if they know that your mom lives in bad conditions, is there a chance that she gets sent off to another place?" To which Nova would reply, "If that happens, I might just fuck myself." There should be no if. I mean, he's a grown man, 21, 22 years old. He has no job, literally nothing to do all day. He spends all his time playing Fortnite or that dance disco game. But he can't find the time to put the fork down or put the controller down and just pick up the house so his mom doesn't have to live in absolute filth and he doesn't have to worry about her getting taken away to like a nursing home or something. And I know these hoarding and filthy tendencies were most likely passed down to him. It had to have been learned at some point, considering when she was able, it seems like the house might have been like that too. Just maybe not as bad. It's still incredibly sad that a grown man is letting his mom basically suffer the way that he is. What makes it incredibly more apparent that the house is absolutely filthy, crawling with all sorts of diseases. He himself says they found bacteria where she got her foot amputated. This CG asks, "Oh no, how could that happen?" To which Nova replies, "He's been in rehab for the past month. She could have gained it from that." Of course, immediately pointing the finger at anything but the absolutely filthy house that they live in. Moving on though, they started talking a little bit about the allegations, of course. And Nova lets his caregiver know that there's actually a whole bunch of evidence out there that completely exonerates him of all of these alleged crimes. And responding to a sarcastic sentence about the evidence that got lost, Nova goes, "I mean, this evidence can immediately wipe everything." They reply with, "Then do it, damn. You save yourself less trouble." And Nova goes, "It was my old server, but I lost the link to that." Conveniently, he just happened to lose the link to all the evidence that would make basically all of his problems go away. And that's because the evidence was never there because he is in fact a PDF file. Then, of course, just to finish this little highlight segment off, "Mcgrubbas, we made it." This caregiver asks, "A guy called Mcgrubba posted about the Reddit, sir. One of my top 5 trolls. He barely missed the top 3 podium." Who's in your top 5? 5 biggest ops of the MBI, NBL are Fakesbeth, Tholidith, Tin, Grubba, and the guy impersonating me. So, Mcgrubbas, I guess we were just that awful for raiding that Minecraft server he had that we had to get bumped up on the list. I'm honored to be there. The more time he spends seething and fuming about me exposing him or talking about all the disgusting things that he gets up to, the less time and energy he has to put into talking to people who are under the age of 18 inappropriately. And then, of course, some honorable mentions coming out of this was the cucking and then him trying to hint at him and Bloodspeth having a common enemy, which I guess they kind of do, but almost looks like he's trying to hint at a Marvel team up or something. Anyways, that's all I had in store for all of you here today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and hype it up if you did. Maybe even subscribe if you want to see more just like it. I also want to give a huge thank you to all the Pure Grub members. If you want to join the membership, I typically post these videos the night before, so everyone who might be a night owl like me can get to watch them a little earlier than everyone else. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day or good night. Later, Grubbas.